If today feels intense, like something is coming to the surface, like emotions feel deeper, more revealing, harder to ignore, this isn't random. Today is a full moon, and not just any full moon, a Scorpio full moon, which means what has been hidden is now visible, what has been suppressed is now felt, what has been avoided can no longer stay beneath the surface. This is not a light energy. It's not subtle. It's direct, penetrating, revealing things you may not have fully faced yet. You may notice that your emotional awareness feels sharper today, not just surface reactions, but deeper patterns, attachments, control, fear, unspoken truths. Things that don't usually stay in focus are now clear, and that clarity can feel intense, because Scorpio energy doesn't show you what's comfortable, it shows you what's real. You may also feel a sense of emotional pressure, not from outside, but from within, like something is building, reaching a point where it needs to be acknowledged. And that's what this moment is, a peak, not of action, but of awareness, where something becomes undeniable, something you can no longer overlook. So if today feels deeper, more intense, more revealing than usual, it's because you're at an emotional threshold, and what you see here matters for what comes next. What you're experiencing today is not just heightened emotion, it's revelation. A full moon always brings something to completion, but in Scorpio, that completion happens through truth, not surface-level awareness, but deeper realization. The kind you can't ignore once you see it. You may notice that certain patterns are becoming clear today, not new patterns, but ones that have been there, operating quietly, influencing your decisions, shaping your direction without full awareness, and now they're visible. You may see where you've been holding on longer than necessary, where control has replaced trust, where attachment has limited growth, where fear has influenced your choices, not in an overwhelming way, but in a clear one. And that clarity is the purpose of this moment. Because before a new cycle begins, something needs to be released, not physically, but internally. A shift in understanding, a recognition that changes how you move forward. You may also notice that your reactions feel more revealing today, stronger responses, deeper triggers, more awareness of what affects you. And those reactions are not random, they're signals, showing you where something still holds power, where something still influences you, where something hasn't fully been resolved. And that's what Scorpio energy does. It doesn't just show you what's happening, it shows you why, at the root. So what you're feeling today is not something to avoid, it's something to understand. Because this is the moment where awareness deepens, where surface clarity becomes internal truth, and that truth is what allows real change. This is where today becomes sensitive. Because when emotions intensify, reaction becomes easier than awareness. The first trap is reacting immediately, letting what you feel turn into action too quickly, speaking before fully understanding, deciding before fully processing, responding from intensity instead of clarity. Because what's surfacing today is powerful, but it's not meant to be acted on instantly. It's meant to be understood. The second trap is avoiding what's being revealed, pushing it away, dismissing it, telling yourself it's not important because it feels uncomfortable, because it brings up something deeper than you expected. But what you avoid today doesn't disappear. It stays beneath the surface, continuing to influence you without awareness. There's also a subtler pattern today, over-identifying with emotion, believing that what you feel is the full truth, without questioning it, without observing it. But emotions, especially under this energy, are signals, not conclusions. They show you something real, but they don't always show it clearly. So the real calibration today is observation before reaction. Let yourself feel, but don't immediately act. Let awareness deepen before making decisions. Because what makes today powerful is not what you do, it's what you recognize and how clearly you see it.
So, how do you move through today without reacting and without suppressing what you feel? You process instead of act. Because today is not about making changes, it's about seeing clearly. Start by allowing what comes up, not forcing it, not analyzing it immediately, just noticing. What are you feeling? What is being triggered? What feels different from usual? Let it surface, because what appears today is showing you something important. Then, create space. Not physical distance, but mental distance. Step back from the emotion slightly. Observe it instead of becoming it. Because awareness is what creates clarity. You can also ask simple questions, not to overanalyze, but to understand. What is this showing me? What pattern is behind this? What has been there that I haven't fully seen? Let the answers come naturally, without forcing them. Because clarity under this energy doesn't come from thinking harder, it comes from seeing deeper. You may also find it helpful to delay action. Not everything you feel today needs a response. Not everything you see needs to be changed immediately. Some things just need to be recognized. Because recognition is what allows release, and release is what creates space for the next phase. So today, stay with the awareness. Let it deepen. Let it show you what's real, without rushing to fix it, without rushing to act on it. Because that's what transforms this moment from emotional intensity into clarity.
Let everything settle here. Not to quiet what you felt, but to understand it. Because today was not about intensity alone. It was about truth. And truth doesn't always arrive comfortably. So take a breath, steady, controlled, unforced, and notice what remains when the initial emotion begins to soften. There's clarity here, not loud, not overwhelming, but real. Because what surfaced today was not random. It was something that needed to be seen, something that has been present but not fully acknowledged. And now you've seen it, even if only partially, even if it's still forming. That awareness is enough. Because change doesn't begin when you act, it begins when you recognize. So not everything needs to be resolved today. Not everything needs to be fixed. Some things just needed to come into your awareness. And from that awareness, a shift begins, quietly, internally, without force. So as you move forward from here, carry that with you. What did today reveal? What felt different? What became clear that wasn't clear before? Stay with that. Let it settle. Let it integrate. Because what you've seen today is what prepares you for what comes next. And if this helped you understand something, even slightly, return to it. Not to relive the intensity, but to deepen the clarity.